Yes, the program is me, but there are bigger things than the program. I'm not bigger than the program.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Cry me a river.
What up, y'all? It's your boy, man, Micah, and I'm back with another video. Man, I've taken such a long break from YouTube, and honestly, it's just because I've been trying to get myself right. I felt like, not that I was doing it for the wrong thing, but I was allowing myself to be pulled in way too many directions that wasn't my own. And that's really what we're going to be talking about today. Today, we're going to be talking about the difference between the act of selfishness and the act of self-prioritizing. So, to really understand that, we have to understand what selfishness is. And selfishness is the act of placing one's needs above interests, anything like that, above those of another person, with little to no regard of how that other person would feel, how that other person would act, stuff like that. And self-prioritizing isn't much different. It is still placing your needs above those of others, but it's not necessarily doing it in spite of anyone else. Like, when someone is selfish,
How selfish of me.
when you say that someone is selfish, or when you label someone as selfish, you're normally meaning that whatever they're doing, or whatever they're doing without you, or whatever advancement they're making in their life, they're doing it without regarding you. A cheating husband is selfish because he's putting his need of sexual interaction or of attention or whatever above the needs and the interests of his family and of his wife and of his children. It would be selfish of me to be talking about hanging out with one of my friends, and I ask them, hey, you want to go get food? I'm hungry. And they're like, nah, man, I'm going to eat at the house tonight. I don't really have the money to eat out. And I'm like, okay. And then I go and get an elaborate meal and just eat it in front of their face. Whereas self-prioritizing would be, still considering that other person in wanting to go get food, but then internalizing the fact that they aren't able to go get food because of whatever they have going on in their life, and just going and getting food on my own and then going to hang out with them. It doesn't really take much to switch your mindset from selfish to self-prioritizing, because you should be prioritizing yourself. You should be putting yourself first. If you're not, you're really just living your life for other people. And I personally am not the one to live my life for other people. I for sure have. I genuinely have, and I feel like every single time that I'm living for other people, every single time that I extend my hand out for somebody to put me in this role of fixer or healer or a laugh or financer, whatever it may be, it's just like these labels weigh me down, because at the end of the day, I'm still figuring out who I am within myself. I'm still figuring out who I want to be. I'm still figuring out where my trajectory is going. So every single time that I say yes to somebody else, I'm saying no to myself. I'm saying no to my goals. I'm saying no to my dreams. I'm saying no to the things that I wanted to get done that day to go and help someone else. So, you know, it's okay to say no, because when you say no to other people, you're saying yes to yourself. You're prioritizing yourself in that situation. You're not being selfish in the fact where you're just saying, "Oh, no, screw you." But you're just saying, "Hey man, I got a little bit going on today, and I'm just not going to be able to help you. I'm not going to be able to fit myself into that role today." You know, and I feel like a lot of things, a lot of this comes down to friendships. Like, you know, it really is the core of selfishness, because a lot of people think that their friends are selfish because they can't just drop everything they're doing like we used to be able to do in high school and go hang out or go on a trip or, you know, live your life. Like, you know, I don't mind if someone that I love or care about or spend my time with wants to go on a trip with me. But at the same time, I have to prioritize my bills. I have to prioritize what I have going on in my life. So it's like, if you're trying to take a trip right now, you're making a selfish decision that you're understanding that you're able to do this right now. And if anybody else is able to come with you, cool. But if not, screw them. But if your idea is genuinely to take a trip and to have fun with your friends, then you would be like, "Hey guys, I want to take this trip in X amount of months. And, you know, we're going to need this, then we're going to need, like for instance, I'm going on a trip in June for Juneteenth. And the organizers of the trip, they have set certain deposit dates. You know, they're letting us know ahead of time what we need, what we're going to be doing, so we're able to get an idea about how much money that we're going to need on this trip. You know, and they are simultaneously self-prioritizing their goal of trying to get this trip organized and put together for all these people, but also allowing other people to self-prioritize themselves. Like, you know I got to get this money by this deposit date, but this deposit date is also on the same day as my rent. So I might have to either pay the deposit a little bit early, or I might not just be able to go on this trip. And it's not like they're gonna scold you or you know, whatever for that, because you have things going on in your life. It's just giving people the allowance and the grace to be able to do what's best for them. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people get very lost in their own agenda. A lot of people get very lost in what they want, what they need, what they feel like is gonna help get them to the next level for the day. But are you worried about what's gonna get me to the next level at the end of the day? Like, you know, my sister, she was talking to me about one of her friends, and she was saying that she was out at a bar, you know, and we're above the age of 21, so, you know, very legal, very okay. But she said that she had put her needs and what she was doing at the time aside for one of her friends, and told her that she was gonna link up with her after the bar. Well, then her friend, you know, selfishly responded in a way that was like, well, you're at a bar, so just don't even worry about it. And it's like, why do you gotta be like that? You know, I'm prioritizing my fun and myself right now, and I'm prioritizing not getting a DUI, and I'm prioritizing, you know, being able to get home safely. And all you're worried about is you and what you have going on, and the fact that you want to hang out with me. That's selfish. That's extremely selfish. And, you know, and it's not a knock to her friend, and it's not going to end their friendship. But if somebody keeps exuding that type of energy towards you, you're not going to want to be their friend for very long. You're not going to want to stay in that person's life, because you're realizing that all they're focused on is themselves. All they're worried about is themselves. You know, we weren't put on this world by ourselves. So sometimes you gotta be a team player. And a huge truck or something just drove by. I don't even know, man. But, you know, if you're gonna be like that and you're going to prioritize yourself, and you're going to continue to live in a way that is strictly motivated towards your goals and strictly curated towards you achieving something, then most of the time you're gonna have to sit things out. Most of the time you're gonna have to realize that your priorities don't really align with everybody else's. What you have going on, your goals and the things that you want to get done in a day don't align with everybody else. And I've been feeling like that recently. I want to start a business. I want to be successful on YouTube. And, at one point I wanted to be successful on TikTok. And, I'm sorry, y'all. A little early in the morning video for y'all, man. I woke up straight off the muscle to record this, man. So y'all better appreciate this, man. Make sure you leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe, man. Because can I help you? Do you want to be a special guest in the video? All right. I guess shouts out to Simba, man. Get out. You're tripping. Anyways, like I was saying, like you're gonna have to prioritize your goals and your priorities above other people's. I was saying, I want to be successful in my life. I want to be successful, and where I'm at, the surrounding that I'm at, the place that I live and that I've grown up, I've realized that a good 85 to 90% of the people here are just okay with not having goals, not having aspirations, not having dreams, leeching off of the next person, going to the bar every weekend, spending your money into your last dime, and you're waiting on your next check to be able to do something. I don't like living like that. I don't want to be in an area like that. I don't want to fall into mediocrity. God blessed me with 2 working hands and 2 working feet and a powerful, I'm not gonna say that.
What do you mean by that?
A powerful vernacular, let's say that. And I was truly blessed with a gift and with wisdom, and I believe that I should apply that. I should apply those gifts that I was given, not only to myself, but to the world. M.A.D is a brand. I plan on making M.A.D a brand. I plan on slapping M.A.D, make a difference on every single thing that I do, whether it's my TikTok, my YouTube, my business. My business name is M.A.D Solutions. And it's a double entendre, because it's not only that we are making a difference in the things that we're trying to do, but it's also like we have M.A.D solutions to your problems. So when it comes down to all of that, I've realized that I've had to be a little bit self-prioritizing recently, because when I'm being pulled in way too many directions. Like last year, the reason why I fell off of YouTube so much is because I had got a manager job. I was talking to multiple women. I was doing YouTube every day. I was doing TikTok every day, and those are 4 extreme things that really needed my one-on-one focus to be able to achieve. But I was just giving 25% to each one of these things, maybe 30% on one day, 50% on another day when I'm not focusing on the other things. But at the end of the day, I wasn't ever giving 100% to anything. So instead of any of those things prospering or becoming lucrative or something for me, they all fizzled out. And I am proud of the success that I have made. I'm so happy that I have almost 500 subscribers. That's amazing to me. I have 40,000 likes on TikTok. That is amazing to me. That means that probably over my average is about 20% of likes to view ratio. So if I'm saying 40,000 people have liked my TikToks, 20%, that's like 200,000 people that have viewed my TikTok, if not more. Because not every video gets 20% of view to like ratio. So it's just like stuff like that is just amazing, man. Stuff like that really shows me that I have a gift. Stuff like that really shows me that I can make it. I can be successful. But I have to be self-prioritizing. I never want to harm anyone else in my journey. I never want to leave anybody behind. But if your priorities don't align with mine, then I've got to put me first. Because it's you versus you at the end of the day. And a lot of people take that mindset and they're like, okay, well, I'm going to be selfish. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I don't care what, and my brother's that way. I wouldn't say that my brother is necessarily a selfish person. He's very giving. He's very loving. But at the end of the day, he knows how to say no because he knows how to put his priorities over others. He realizes that he's an adult. He's got things that he's got to take care of. And if he keeps giving to these other people, he won't be able to take care of the things for him. So then at the end of the day or at the end of the month, he's struggling to make ends meet. And who's there to help him? If you are the provider, who's providing for you? So these are the type of things that we really have to understand when we're going about our day-to-day life, guys. Like, you don't have to prioritize yourself in a selfish way, but you do have to prioritize yourself in an aggressive way, in a vigorous way, in a way that is going to make change for you. So maybe it's just that you take it from being 60-40, 60% you, 40% everybody else, or even the other way around, 60% everybody else, 40% you. You switch it up a little bit and you take it up to 70-30. But you need to make sure that 70 is you. You need to make sure that you are prioritizing that 70% to give to yourself, to continue to feed yourself, to continue to fill your own cup, to continue to love yourself, to continue to figure out who you are, to continue to figure out where you want to be. Because I feel like somebody who is selfish, their percentage is maybe 90-10, 90 them, 10 other people, 100 them, 0 other people. But somebody who's self-prioritizing, they're about, like I said, 70-30, 80-20. So yes, your personal agenda is outweighing someone else, but that does not mean that you are disregarding other people. That does not mean that you're just throwing other people to the side. Like, for instance, in a job state, a selfish person would quit their job, not caring about the team, to go take another opportunity that may or may not be fruitful for them. But a self-prioritizing person would be like, okay, I've got this job offer. They're offering to pay me more money and a higher position than my current job. But I do realize that my current job needs me and that they're going to need time to replace me because we all have a job to get done at the end of the day. So a self-prioritizing person would be like, hey, I would love to take this position, but I need to give my job 2 weeks. And then they would go back to their job, give their job the 2 weeks, maybe do a little bit of research on the company that they're striving to work for, getting themselves in a good mental space to be able to work for this new company, gearing themselves up to accept change and accept growth and accept the new path in life. That's self-prioritizing. And when you weigh the two things together, when you put them side by side, it's just like self-prioritizing sounds so much better, doesn't it? Because it's the act of giving yourself grace and time and a system to be able to get things done for you. I mean, yeah, there are some successful selfish people out there, but not many. Not many, because they're being knocked down because they have nobody in their corner to help them. And I don't want to be the guy that comes on here and says, "Oh, nobody cares and nobody's there to help you," because there's millions of people on the earth. There's people who have There's people who have done what you've done before. There's millionaires out there. There's entrepreneurs out there. There's people starting businesses every day. There's people starting YouTubes every day. There's people blowing up on TikTok every single day. So if you can take that information in, realize that knowledge is out there, then you gotta realize that, yes, while you might be prioritizing yourself, you also need to be considering other people. Because perfect example, Funny Marco. Everybody knows who Funny Marco is. And now, because of Funny Marco, everybody knows who Bobby Altoff is. And it's like a running joke in Funny Marco's community, and that, oh, he got this white girl famous or blah, 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 whatever. But, hush! I'm filming a video. Do you want to be a part of it? You want to sit on my lap or something? Come on. You want to sit on my lap or what? I didn't think so. Go away. Jeez, man. He never wants to let me live. He's selfish. That's a selfish cat right there. He don't care what I got going on, man. He in my face. But back, it's a running joke, in Funny Marco's community that, wow, this is ridiculous, man. I'm tired of yawning. Anyways, yeah, people joke on Marco and say he got this white girl famous, but that video with Bobby got like 10 million views on Funny Marco's channel. So, he could have been selfish. He could have been like, oh no, I only want to bring up young black women, or I have more followers than this girl, so I'm not gonna give her a platform. Or he could have been self-prioritizing and been like, yeah, I am going to do this interview. And not only am I going to do this interview, but I'm going to do this interview on my platform as well. And I'm going to be lucrative from it. And yes, it did blow Bobby up, but it also blew Funny Marco up. Like people know that, and the people who are joking with Marco knows that, and Marco knows that. And he shouldn't be sad or whatever if one of Bobby's videos gets more views than his. He should be happy that he lifted that person up, and forever, like Bobby's been out for like 2-3 years now. Forever, Bobby's name will be tied to Funny Marco's name. Why? Because Funny Marco is the one who gave her big break. So as successful as Bobby is gonna be, or as successful as Funny Marco is gonna be, they're gonna continue to grow each other's careers. And that's a self-prioritizing decision that they made right there. It wasn't selfish for either one of them to do that podcast. It's not selfish for them to go in whatever direction they went in after that podcast. It's self-prioritizing. They love what they do. They love interviewing people. They love talking to people. They love lifting people up. I mean, people forget Bobby had her own clout before that. Bobby was on TikTok. Bobby did an interview with Miranda Sings, Colleen Ballinger, one of the biggest female YouTubers of the younger generation. So, it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. we really got to stop being so selfish. We really got to stop. Like, man, let me give one more example before I close this video out, man. There's so many people out there in relationships with selfish people who don't care to hurt them, who don't care to, like, I had a friend, she called me crying, talking about her boyfriend cheated on her and he was moving away and how she had nothing and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. And as much sympathy as I wanted to have for her, I couldn't, because there was no priority in herself. And she's with this guy who just, like, you know, I don't know him, so I don't want to say he doesn't care about her. But in those times when he chose to cheat or whatever, he didn't care about their relationship. He didn't care about how she would feel. And at the end of the day, she took him back. I just can't get behind that. I can't get behind that behavior. I can't get behind that type of love. Because you're telling me that you're so selfish that you don't even care about how I would feel. We're building this bond. We're building this legacy. We're building this, you know, commitment to each other. And it screw me at the end of the day. Nah, bro, nah.
I'm out of here.
And I've been in tricky situations like that, and I had to realize that begging someone else was not prioritizing myself. I was putting someone else's needs over mine. I was putting their potential maybe want of nah. Begging someone to stay is selfish. You've now stooped yourself to such a low level that you have nothing but this cheater. Your life is nothing without this cheater. Your life is nothing without this person that doesn't truly love you. Huh?
Excuse me?
How about you prioritize yourself in that situation and get out of there? How about you prioritize yourself and set some boundaries? How about you prioritize yourself and stop lifting up someone so high that's gonna put you so low? And I'm going to hurt a couple people's feelings out there, because there's a lot of people out there in abusive relationships. And abuse isn't just physical. And we have a video about that. Maybe not a specific video, but I have talked about this on here before. Abuse is not just physical. Abuse is mental, emotional, I was about to make up a word. But there's 3 different types of abuse. What? You got food and water right here. Your litter box over there. What could you want from me, man?
What more do you want from me?
I'm trying to talk to the people. Dang. Anyways, like I was saying, man, y'all gotta prioritize yourselves in these abusive relationships, man, because that other person is putting their needs above yours. That other person in a physical relationship, that other person is putting their need to outlet their anger over the reality that you are a fragile, emotional person who just wants love. When you're in a mentally abusive relationship, that person is putting their mental needs, their mental trauma, their whatever over yours, over what you've been through in life, over what you've gone through. And you could have gone through something way more traumatic than them, but you prioritize your relationship. You prioritize them. You prioritize what love really means to you. So you would never treat this person like that. And you deserve that in return. You deserve someone who prioritizes your needs and also their own. You deserve someone who prioritizes conjunction. You deserve someone who prioritizes loyalty. You deserve someone who prioritizes trust. Why are you out here just giving yourself to anybody and just accepting whatever? You don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. You deserve so much better. You do deserve love. You do deserve happiness. You do deserve peace. You shouldn't be begging anybody else for it. Man, I'm so sick of people. I am so sick of people, dude, and the way that they treat other people. It's sick. It's sick. It is sick. You're willing to put somebody else down or treat somebody a certain type of way because you're not healed in yourself. You're disgusting. And I hope that person leaves you. I hope that they... Bro, he be out of pocket. But yeah, man, I hope you end up in a situation to where you have to prioritize yourself. I hope you end up in a situation to where you realize that aggressive growth is in your path. Aggressive change is in your path. Because you have all these people around you prioritizing your selfish ass. And they're all growing, they're all changing, they're all elevating, and you're not. And I've been in that. I've been in that state before. I don't want to say that the friends I used to have were the best friends in the world. But while I was friends with them, I was an extremely selfish person. Yes, I would help them out. But if, like, for instance, if we're doing something, like, say I'm helping one of my friends move and I'm hungry, I'm leaving to go get food. Or I used to. Who cares about the end of the job, right? No, wrong, man. You need to prioritize what you're doing in the moment and then go get you some food. If you're... Nelly! It's ridiculous. But if you're at the point to where you're about to pass out or something like that, ask them, hey, do you have something I could snack on? You have something I can eat? I really gotta prioritize this low blood sugar right now. But I do want to help you finish up the job. So, it was just a bunch of that, a bunch of that, and a bunch of not realizing that yes, the program is me, but there are bigger things than the program. I'm not bigger than the program. I may be the prize, but I'm not the treasure. I'm not the gold pot at the end of the rainbow. I'm not perfect. I'm just a person. I'm just a man. And I'm just trying to figure out life just like everybody else. And, I can't give my all to everybody else, but if I'm going to be there for you, I'm going to be there for you. And if I can't be there for you, I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm not just going to sit there and be like, oh, maybe, or, whatever, and then have you sitting there waiting on me all day long. Like somebody I know. My buddy. If you're watching this, I'm calling you out, buddy. Go to the gym. Now you guys are probably confused. Like, what are you talking about? Man, I got this friend, man. Love him, man. He's my friend and my business partner. And this dude told me, oh yeah, I want to go to the gym, blah, 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 whatever. And, I go 3 times a week. I go 3 times a week for 2 to 3 hours at a time. A lot of people can't deal with that. A lot of people can't deal with a 2 to 3 hour gym session of constant work. There ain't no being on your phone. There ain't no taking that much, 5-minute breaks. Nah, you get to work. You get to work. And then when you're done, then you can relax. So, he's come to the gym with me a couple times. And, he tries to make it at least once a week. But on the days that he doesn't come, I've told him, like, hey, man, my gym is right next to my job. I got to go out of my way to come and pick you up to come to the gym with me. Because I love you. I care for you. I want to see growth for you. But if you're going to be selfish and be like, not even say anything to me when knowing that I'm waiting for you, or telling me last minute, hey, I'm just not going to make it today. Well, then I'm going to prioritize myself next week, and I'm just going to go without you. Because clearly you don't want it as bad as I do. I want it bad. I need my life to change. It has to. It has to change. That's why I'm sitting here making this YouTube video right now. Because my life has to change. I do not want to keep walking around with my head down in my pockets thin, in the same place doing the same thing all the time. I deserve more. My future family deserves more. My future wife deserves more than this. So, I'm prioritizing myself in this season so that I can have the things that I want in 10, 15, 20 years. Because I know it's not going to happen overnight. Just because you prioritize yourself one day out of the week doesn't mean that you're going to have what you want next week. No, you have to continue to prioritize yourself. You have to continue to grow. You have to continue to learn. You have to continue to gain. And then eventually you will see the fruits of your labor. You will see what you want to see you will see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh my God! Wow!
You will be able to put your hands on that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But if you're just being some selfish bastard with the flashlight, while all of us are walking in the dark trying to get to the light at the end of the tunnel, you're never even gonna get to the point to where you realize that greatness. You realize that there's more than just you. You realize that there's an agenda out here that exceeds your personal gain. And that's really all that I have for you guys, man. Just make sure you switch up your mindset a little bit from selfishness. Make sure you switch up your mindset a little bit from selfishness to self-prioritizing. And I promise you, your life will be a lot better. I promise you, you'll be achieving your goals a lot quicker. I promise you, you'll feel a lot better about yourself at the end of the day. Man. And with that being said, go out there and make a difference today, y'all. I love y'all. It's been your boy. Make sure you leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Peace.